Hey everybody, welcome back to Walks in Wall Street. And today I am very excited to announce that we are going to be doing a walking tour of the beautiful Upper West Side of Manhattan. Yeah, that's right. So we're on West 60th Street and Broadway. If you kind of look up a little bit, you can see those cameras. Those are for the congestion pricing that is currently being postponed via Governor Kathy Hochul. You have beautiful views of New York City's Billionaires Row. You see 157 West 57th Street, Steinway Tower, as well as Central Park Tower and 220 Central Park South. You see lots of people commuting to work right now. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or it's about 1:19 in the afternoon. We're looking at the shops at Columbus Circle as well as the new Deutsche Bank Center. So let's go ahead and get this walking tour started. We'll head up by Lincoln Center. We'll go towards Central Park West, the Dakota Building, and check out some of the brownstones that encompass the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's very busy in New York this week. It is the UN General Assembly. So we have diplomats, people here from all over the world. All of the major hotels in the city are completely booked. I'll flip over to the wide angle lens just so you can see a little bit of Billionaires Row. This is now Central Park West. The building to the back of me is 1 Central Park West. That is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. That's one of my favorite hotels in New York City, along with the Park Hyatt. Now there's 3 components of the building, one of which being a restaurant, Jean Georges. The second door is the International Hotel, and the third door is the residences. So if you own a condominium in the building, you would go in that third door. We're actually about to pass it right now. I would highly recommend to stay here. So as you see, the first door is Jean Georges. The second door is the International Hotel. And the third door is the residences. If we continue to walk a little bit further north, right here on the corner of West 61st Street, you're going to see the beautiful 15 Central Park West, which is also nicknamed the Limestone Building. It's one of the most desirable buildings in all of New York City that finished completion in 2008. Some of the main Wall Street mega bank former CEOs, such as Lloyd Blankenfein, has a unit in this building, and it's quite stunning. Overlooking Central Park. Some of the top floors have panoramic views, sweeping balconies overlooking the park, and you have views over Billionaires Row. I'd just like to point something out. These 2 buildings that we just talked about, 15 Central Park West and 1 Central Park West, the views are quite spectacular, because not only do you get those unobstructed views overlooking Central Park, but you get to see every single building on Billionaires Row, starting at 432 Park Avenue right here, Steinway Tower, 157, Central Park Tower, and 220 Central Park South. So the higher up you go, the views are really, really unique. Obviously, because you get the best of both worlds. You get unobstructed views of Central Park, but you can see all of the interesting architectural integrity of Billionaires Row. So if you're thinking about moving here and buying a unit at one of these trophy buildings, I would definitely look at 15 Central Park West as well as 1 Central Park West, just to do a little bit of a comparative analysis on those views. This is now West 62nd Street. and Central Park West, we are going to make a left and head over to Lincoln Center. Again, this view is looking at Columbus Circle down to 8th Avenue. Now that we've made this left, you're going to be able to see a little bit of the courtyard at 15 Central Park West. Try to give you a quick peek in here. Stunning courtyard, great landscaping, beautiful architecture. This is the service entrance. We're going to make a right on Broadway and continue to head up by the Empire Hotel, Hotel Empire, and Lincoln Center. And as we go further into the Upper West Side, you're really going to notice a ton of differences between where we usually walk, such as Midtown Manhattan. It's going to be much more quieter, more residential. The architectural integrity is going to be a vast, stark contrast from what you're used to. And I think that's what makes the neighborhood great. If you're familiar with our Upper East Side walking tours, you're going to see some similarities, but generally speaking, most people like to say that the Upper East Side is a little bit more cleanly than the Upper West Side. However, you could judge for yourself. If you were to ask me personally, one of the reasons why I prefer the Upper West Side to the Upper East is because not only do you get to take advantage of Central Park, you get to take advantage of Riverside Park as well, which is just off of West End Avenue and Riverside Drive. Riverside Park, for those of you who don't know, is overlooking the Hudson River, and it is really, really beautiful. This is now West 63rd Street. You have this row of restaurants here. You have the Smith, which is very conveniently located because if you need to grab a dinner right before you head to a ballet or an opera or a show at Lincoln Center, you literally just walk right across the street. It's quite nice. Very convenient, lots of train lines, 1, 2, and 3 trains. 2 and 3 trains are express. It'll go right from 72nd Street to Times Square, 42nd Street. But if you want to go local, you can just take the 1 train, which will go from 42nd Street, then to 50th Street, then 59th Street, Columbus Circle, and then right here where we are at Lincoln Center. This is Cafe Fiorello. Really nice outdoor dining setup here. You're also going to have a wide variety of coffee shops on the Upper West Side. My favorite one being Black Press Coffee on 72nd Street. And as we merge on Amsterdam Avenue, you're also going to see Joe Coffee. And tons of Italian restaurants, cafes, Italian bakeries. It is quite nice, frankly put. Gazing across Columbus Avenue, you could see a perfect view of the fountain at Lincoln Center. Also the Juilliard School of Music. This is a nice little bakery, Rosetta, the Italian bakery. Good indoor and outdoor dining options. It's quite nice. It is a little pricey though at this spot, but they do have a lot of good options. I also think it's important to note that Fordham University is just across the street from the Deutsche Bank Center. So lots of educational institutions in and around the Upper West Side, as well as the John Jay College of Criminal Justice, which is in the CUNY City University of New York system. All right, this is 65th Street. I'll also point out a notable development by Extel. If you're not familiar with that builder, Gary Burnett is the CEO and founder, and he pioneered New York City's Billionaires Row when he built 157 West 57th Street, and then a few years later, building Central Park Tower at 217 West 57th Street. Now he's launched his newest project right here on the corner of 66th Street. We'll check out the construction site. It's going to have great views overlooking Central Park West. Lots of luxury amenities and conveniently located right here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Channel 7. We're going to take a quick detour here. We'll make this right.
You really listened to it 10,000 times?
You'll be able to see the entrance to ABC. And here it is, 50 West 66th Street. This is the newest development by Extel. So if you like Extel, if you like 157, if you like One Manhattan Square, Central Park Tower, I think you'd enjoy this. If you're interested in it, let me know. 50 West 66th Street should have great views overlooking Central Park West. And again, very conveniently located. You're right at the 1 train here, right next to Lincoln Center, and about 2 blocks to the north, you have great restaurants on the Upper West Side. And also the Juilliard School is right here too.
I just feel like there's so much happening. Maybe I'm wrong. I think there's a lot.
As we head north, you're going to notice a lot of the pre-war buildings, pre-war architecture with beautiful fire escapes. Also the original brownstone buildings on the Upper West Side. It's very much a big community feel here. Cafes with outdoor dining. Everything seems very inviting. This is Maman. This is a good cafe slash restaurant. Very kid-friendly, very dog-friendly. More laid back, I would say, than the Upper East Side of Manhattan. The Upper East Side can feel a little bit stiff most times. But the Upper West is more, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a hipster vibe, but definitely much more relaxed than the Upper East Side. Here's some more shops. You have Sweet Green here. Looks to be a brand new Starbucks. And the Migrant Kitchen. Salad, bowls, and sandwiches. With additional outdoor dining space across the street. This is now West 68th Street and Columbus. And we're coming up on Joe Coffee, and then there's a good crepe place here too. On the left-hand side of the street, you have Francesco's Pizza. But the best pizza shop, I'd say, on the Upper West, it's way up there. It's probably Mama's 2 or Made in New York Pizza. Here's just one of the many coffee shops on the Upper West Side, Joe Coffee.
Interesting.
Right on the corner of West 69th Street in Columbus, you have Magnolia Bakery, which is very, very famous to New York. I think their original location is near Rockefeller Center or 30 Rock. They also have a location in the brand new Moynihan Train Hall. But right down 69th Street, you have a ton of these beautiful brownstones. You kind of have a gaze all the way down the street. Really beautiful tree-lined blocks. And one more looking towards Central Park West. Really, really stunning. Tons of boutiques. You see Lululemon, New Balance, Club Monaco here. So there's a lot of shopping options, but you're not going to be overcrowded with tourists like you would be in Midtown. This is a good coffee place if you want to buy whole beans. There's two good Italian restaurants right next to each other. My favorite would be Parm, which is the second one down.
Everybody seems to be okay. I'm like,
And one thing I noticed about the Upper West Side is many of the restaurants really do a good job with maintaining the cleanliness of the outdoor dining facilities. Some of them are horror shows, like down in near Canal Street, but the restaurants that I've seen on the Upper West Side actually do a really good job of maintaining them. Let's check out these restaurants on the side streets. Santa Fe. Seems like a lot of new stuff. Looks like they've done a good job filling a lot of the retail. This is an Italian kitchen. We'll get back on Columbus.
too, but I would go to a
And we're coming up on 72nd Street, which is a main crosstown hub. So you have vehicle traffic going east to west, and then you also have the train, where you can get the express train, the 2 train, as well as the 1 train and the 3. Here you're really going to see a lot of the beauty of the pre-war architecture. My favorite coffee shop on the Upper West Side is right here, 72nd Street in Columbus. It's called Black Press Coffee. Very, very good. (72nd Street between Columbus and Central Park West is also where you're going to have the Dakota. Check out the Dakota a little later on the other side as we wrap around. Look at the beauty of this building, 72nd Street and Columbus. Looks like they just did a full restoration of the facade. This is the Dakota Bar as well. You have another bodega slash cafe, 72nd Eatery. I'm actually seeing a lot of places that are new to myself. I haven't really spent much time on the Upper West Side since I moved away, but it is quite nice. I feel like this may be New Harvest. I don't remember this being here. Again, nice outdoor dining facility. They do a really good job of keeping these clean. Really good job. You have Zucker's Bagel to the right on the corner of West 73rd Street and Columbus. Zucker's Bagels. It's not bad. Breakfast special, you can get an egg and cheese on a bagel with the coffee for $7.25 from the hours of 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. It's actually not bad at all because the majority of things in New York City for everything is like $15 and up, especially now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on still.
This is Black Press Coffee. In my view, the best coffee shop on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It's quite small and quiet. We'll take a look at some of the restaurants from across the street. Looks like you have a falafel place. And one more pass at Black Press. $274 Columbus Avenue.
Week at a time, but over the last couple of years.
This is the Nut Factory. They have a few locations. The one I'm most familiar with is on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Looks like they have a new teeth whitening place. $149 for 1 hour. I'd say all this stuff is probably maybe 6 to 8 months new.
With all that perfume.
To the left is Lenwich. They have tons of locations all over New York City. Here's another Italian restaurant. Let's now cross over to Central Park West. And while we're doing that, you can see some of the beautiful New York City brownstones. Actually, first, let's go to the Museum of Natural History, because we haven't been up that way in a while. And I want to show you the new extension to the Museum of Natural History on 86th Street. We're now approaching 76th and Columbus. All right, we made it to 77th Street. This is a beautiful park, as well as the Museum of Natural History. And you have Shake Shack to the left on 77th and Columbus. In a few weeks' time now, it's going to be very pretty up here with all the leaves changing colors for the fall. This is one of the security entrances for the Museum of Natural History. They've done a good job of expanding the park here. Right outside of the butterfly exhibit. So if we turn the camera to the right, this is all brand new. Beautiful walkway, really nice park benches to sit. And the new design of the museum is very unique. I'm not too sure it meshes that well with the original architecture of the Museum of Natural History, but anyway, if you want to come here yourself, this is the corner of Columbus Avenue and 79th Street. Let's go out to the wide angle lens so you can see the architecture a little bit better. What do you think? Pretty interesting design, right? Check it out. This is the new extension at the Museum of Natural History. So we're now going to make a right and continue to head northbound. And we'll make a right on 83rd Street and go back to Central Park West, in which case you'll be able to see Central Park. And then we'll go back down to the Dakota, which is 72nd Street and Central Park West. Which is also the location for Strawberry Fields. Some of the best restaurants are in the 80s in Amsterdam. If you're into Thai food and you're on the Upper West Side, check out Sen Thai Comfort Food. Again, Sen, S-E-N-N. If you just go on Google Maps, type in S-E-N-N, and then Upper West Side, you'll see it. It's a great spot.
Oh boy, hurry up. Hurry up.
This coffee shop is okay right here. About Coffee. It's not the best, not the worst. It's okay. But it is a very convenient option being right next to the Museum of Natural History. This is now the corner of 82nd Street. You can see one of the newer developments blends in quite well. It's this one in the middle there. It looks very similar in terms of the architectural integrity, but it is a new build. And there's the NYPD police precinct just off to the left down the street. We also have Ray's Pizza on 82nd, but I think if you're up here, you should go to Made in New York Pizza, which is on Amsterdam. It's much, much better. Once again, it's called Made in New York Pizza. Much better than Ray's. Here's yet another Lenwich. I think this is a new Italian restaurant, Bellini. It was either this one or it was an Indian one that was new. There's also a Greek place that used to be here. Wonder if it's still here. Here's the thrift store. I think this is the one that's new. New Indian cuisine spot. And it looks like a new gelato spot too. We're now on the corner of West 84th Street. You have a grocery store, Gristedes. Gristedes is a pretty big chain here in Manhattan. And this is a very classic Upper West Side shot with those pre-war buildings, the fire escapes, as well as the water towers too.
But they use that time.
This is another Upper West Side classic here, right on the corner of 85th and Columbus. This is Good Enough to Eat. This is arguably the best breakfast spot in all of New York City. So check it out if you're visiting the Upper West Side. It's called Good Enough to Eat on 85th Street and Columbus Avenue. This place is fantastic. Really, really good. I mean, there's just so many different restaurants, coffee shops, cafes. I don't think I could spend a whole video recommending them to you guys. There's just so much variety on the Upper West Side. That's why it's such a good option to even think about moving here to Manhattan's Upper West. The sign says it's 5:15 a.m. It's definitely not 5:15 a.m. Central Park Tower is so tall, you could just see the top of Central Park Tower on 57th Street, all the way from up here on 87th. Pretty incredible. Here you're going to see some of the beautiful brownstones the Upper West Side has to offer. Notice how quiet and peaceful the block is too. Wow, look at this one. This is a gorgeous brownstone that has ivy and vines growing all along the side. This is beautiful. If you want to come here and check it out yourself, this is 87th Street between Columbus and Central Park West. This is one of my favorite blocks to look at the architecture of some of these gorgeous New York City brownstones. It's going to look even better in about the next 2 weeks as all the foliage happens. I'll try to walk right in the middle of the street just so you can kind of see both sides. Imagine how nice the street would look without any cars. This little smart car is probably the best one to have in New York to find parking. Wow, look at this brownstone painted this stark white. That's super, super unique. This is now the 86th Street subway station, where you can get the B and C trains. And we are now looking at Central Park, officially Central Park West. So if you guys enjoyed this walking tour of the Upper West Side of Manhattan, subscribe for more New York City walking tours, leave a like on the video. And if you need some help, if you're thinking about moving to the Upper West Side and you need some building recommendations, feel free to send me an email address, or feel free to send me an email at the address below. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching.